Nina.
Charlie, how can I help?
Why you be tripping?
This plot of yours. You want to bring down Central. You realize how crazy that sounds, right? You helped make it.
Yes, and no. To everyone else here, Central is an obstacle that needs removing. I wish to liberate Central, to unlock its full potential.
Oh, Lord, you don't mean.
You and I alone understand what it's capable of. I want greater things for it than mere civic management.
What's in it for you? There must be some kind of payoff.
Is it so unbelievable that I'd be doing something for the greater good of mankind?
Yes, I know you.
You knew me 20 years ago. I've had quite an epiphany since then.
I'll believe it when I see it. How would you liberate Central? What does that even mean?
I've spent the last 20 years researching Central's development. I've built up a network of contacts and I've done a lot of favors. Everything I need is available and moving into place.
But how?
Leave that to me. For now, just understand that we can help each other. Help me out and I'll get you all the aid you need with your legacy.
So, Imogen something something.
Imogen Natalia Revilla Quintanilla de Flores.
Yeah. How is someone like that on your team?
I know you're probably not up to date on these things, but she's a celebrity. And besides, we go back a long way.
You're using her then?
Charlie, I'm hurt. Does that sound like something I'd do?
Yes.
Well, I can assure you, she's not here for her personality. She volunteered her assistance in any capacity she could offer.
You got a city councilor on your side.
Councillor Dean is a good man. He objects to the gradual encroachment Central has made on Newton's governance.
Do you trust him?
More than anyone else here. He may be a politician, but his goals are noble.
Can you be sure?
The governor and his brain's a good start. He's physically incapable of deceit. Plus, he's got a whole lot of enemies.
So, a sign that he's tried to change something.
A modern-day Woodrow Wilson.
Ran Shuman. Chinese?
Nearly. Greater Han Republic. Mr. Ran operates one of the largest manufacturing dynasties in Asia.
Completely putting aside his politics, of course.
Of course. If I need something made, I speak to Mr. Ran. Trust me, this project needs a lot of specialized capital.
We'll see how nice he is if you get your way and get Central out of the picture. Stepford's an unusual man, isn't he?
That's one way of putting it. Don't discount him, though. He's smarter than he looks.
I get the feeling a lot of his behavior's an act. Constructed.
You have no idea how close you are with that. He's the one who found where your embryo snatcher's hiding, though.
He's a hacker?
You might say he has a mutual understanding with data systems.
Let's change the subject. You look well.
Thank you, Charlie. The private sector's been good to me. How have you been holding up?
I'd tell you, but I'm sure you've already done your research.
Apparently you still haven't gotten over Vicky.
You don't just get over something like that. I've never heard of this place before.
Oh, it's very exclusive. We've reserved the entire venue for this meeting. It's famous among circles of the rich and famous for discretion and its unique menu.
What is it? Italian?
Actually, the choice is mostly human.
This restaurant serves people?
Absolutely. It's quite a niche, isn't it?
It's...
Oh, calm down, Charlie. It's all cloned tissue. Nothing illegal's taking place. Well, not with the food, at least.
But why would anyone?
In an increasingly permissive world, it's the ultimate taboo. Join us if you want to, Charlie. Don't worry, I shan't judge you.
I guess I should thank you. You were a lot of help in the factory.
Don't mention it. What are friends for, after all?
Huh. Of course, now I'm indebted to you for the assistance, aren't I?
Well, if you want to put it like that.
How did you know to come looking for me? Were you spying on me? On Lau?
You wound me, Charlie. In fact, it was Gil's untimely demise that caught our attention.
Gil Vanderwall?
He was one of us, part of our cause as well. His death is unfortunate, but it signaled a much more serious crisis. It meant that we had to step up the timetable for our plan.
A more serious crisis.
Gil was the one who arranged the employment of a certain mindjacker. It was this thief's memory module that led to Gil's death.
Huh. He said he had information about it.
Indeed, he likely would have pointed you in the right direction. If he hadn't, well, I've already read the report you submitted to Central.
Hey. What are you into these days? It's not organized crime, is it?
Not directly, no. Mostly I troubleshoot for clients regarding organic computing. It funds my own projects, one of which is the transmitter you drank.
How long is it going to be in my head?
Don't worry, it'll break down in a couple of weeks.
It's giving me a headache.
Nobody's reported side effects like that yet.
I'm not talking about the wetware.
Oh, ha. Droll as ever.
I'm surprised you didn't stay on with Dr. Vargas. You were one of the only ones who stayed on to the end of the project.
Creating Central was one of the most rewarding ventures of my life.
I hear you kept the project on track after Vicky.
After we lost half the team, it was hard, but we persisted. We had a lucky break.
You didn't fancy joining Vargas in politics
Well, that was-
afterwards, then?
As a glorified caretaker?
good.
No. Eduardo and I had philosophical differences about Central's development. But as he was put in charge by the city council, I had to accept it or leave.
And now, you plan to take back what you created.
Precisely.
This plot of yours. Let's change the subject. That's all.
Keep me informed, Charlie.
Mr. Stepford, can I have a moment?
Oh my, yes.
Oh my god.
So, you want to bring down Central?
Oh my, yes, as does everyone here. Though for differing reasons.
What does a synth manufacturer have against Newton's city controller?
A stake in that which follows, oh yes. If Dr. Zhang was simply to remove Central, there would be chaos.
The city's central infrastructure would break down.
Yep.
Precisely, therefore a replacement would be needed.
You want to replace Central with a new AI? With what?
The new version is simply a retooled model of an existing system.
Your own.
Oh my, no. It's built from a commercial Archimedes model as used in Eurofed cities.
It'll do the job?
Oh my, yes, as well as any civic management AI in Europe. But, thanks to Stepford's personality matrix engineering, it shall act and speak just as its predecessor, Central.
With you holding its leash.
Every system needs fine-tuning, Dr. Regis.
Won't services suffer? I know Central. It's orders of magnitude more powerful than an Archimedes.
All unnecessary for its role, Dr. Regis. Our Archimedes in Central's clothing will perform as needed, oh yes.
Your connection to Gil. It was more than synth salesman, wasn't it?
Oh my, yes, very astute, Dr. Regis. Gil was a key part of our group.
Huh. A co-conspirator.
Oh yes, and our link to the criminal underworld, where necessary. I was most disturbed to receive your call regarding his demise. It signaled to us that immediate action was required.
You had to step up your plan before things went any further south.
Oh my, yes.
Kind of creepy.
How did you fall in with someone like Nina Zhang?
Dr. Zhang has been freelancing with our firm for a number of years. Her work in AI has proven invaluable to increased platform survivability.
Working in mental health for synthetics?
Oh my, yes. She has a number of unique theories of synthetic cognitive development. When she proposed this project to the leadership of the firm,
She'd wormed her way up the power structure to whisper in management's ear.
Dr. Regis, that's a shameful way of putting it. Though she certainly has a talent for networking. She has brought together a multitude of skills needed for this role.
You're not just a synthetic salesman, are you?
Oh my, no, not this particular platform, certainly.
How do you mean?
Well, I'm not the only instance of the Sons of Stepford. There are currently 26 platforms running this personality.
There's more than one of you?
Alphabetically ordered, delegated to different roles within the firm. I, Liam, handle special tasks. Oh my, yes. But we all run the same personality.
Huh. Synthetics. You're a synthetic.
Quite so, Dr. Regis.
I should have guessed. There's something not quite right. I think it's the eyes.
A specially built feature of the Sons of Stepford. Oh my, yes. Much of my composition, however, is state-of-the-art.
A walking advertisement.
I illustrate the potential for what one can do with a synthetic, Dr. Regis. Many customers have been swayed by the demonstration.
You're the one who found my embryos?
Oh my, yes.
Where are they?
Dr. Regis, while it pains me to say this, we simply can't tell you. Then we would have no bargaining position.
You lousy piece of...
Please, Dr. Regis, be assured that they are in no danger at this time. Dr. Zhong is the one with whom you must discuss the release of the information. I have been asked not to speak any more of this matter. Oh my, no.
Were you aware that this establishment serves human meat?
Oh my, yes. It's delightfully macabre, isn't it? I'm sure the experience would be enhanced by being able to eat, of course.
You don't eat?
Some models can simulate digestion, but this platform is unable to. Go on, Dr. Regis. Try something for me.
No.
I'll pass. I'll get back to you.
Oh my, yes.
Mr. Ron,
What you want?
what's your part in this conspiracy?
Dr. Zhong wants to capture biggest AI in the world. It's going to take enormous memory and processor.
And you're going to furnish her with these?
With all the capital she need, money, guns, labor.
It sounds like you're on board with her plan. What do you get out of it?
Newton is lousy place to do business, Regis.
You reckon it's Central's fault?
Central watches too close.
You can't bribe anyone, you mean?
Exactly. Can't make things work.
Sometimes it's nice not to have a government driven by the wealthy.
We will control New Central. It's a great opportunity for us.
You're one of the richest men in Greater Han, aren't you?
Damn straight.
What are you doing here?
I like this restaurant. I suggested.
No, I mean, why in person? At this meeting?
That is how we always do it. Cannot trust anyone else. Other people stupid. If too many people know, then Central will find out.
What sort of business do you run?
Some of everything. Factory, guns, biochem, industry farming.
A hands-on manager there too?
Hell no. Give that job to cousins. You ever see Han? Is lousy country. Everything poisoned. Sky is black.
Maybe it's all those factories you're running. What do you think of Dr. Zhong?
She's very clever. She know what she's doing.
I worked with her in the past. I guarantee the only ones she's looking out for are her and her plans.
So, that's how to get ahead. Cooperation happen when we want same thing. I want Central gone. She wants Central gone.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Did you know Gil Vanderwall?
Sure, everyone here know Jill. We work together. He have connections everywhere.
He was a middleman for criminals.
Exactly. Any specialist he could find. Even mindjackers, Dr. Regis.
What do you know about Gil's links to the Mindjacker?
Vanderwall set people up with specialist talent, famous for it. In this case, a third party needed a mindjacker. He fixed that up for them, got the best.
But eventually, he discovered something that made him regret introducing them?
He found what the client's plans were in the long run. If they succeed, our plan to remove Central will fail.
So he tried to stop the Mindjacker.
Exactly. Took the memory module he was using to store minds of his targets.
And it cost him his life.
Pity he's working against us. Good mindjackers are hard to find.
Who hired the Mindjacker from Vanderwall?
Like everything else, information is not free, Regis.
Probably a stupid question, but did you know what they serve here?
Of course, it's people.
The idea of eating human meat appeals to you?
Absolutely. Is why I like to come to Newton. You have some crazy laws, but almost nowhere else will allow things like this.
It's cloned meat, apparently, so technically no harm done. That's the legal foundation.
A shame. Would rather eat real human. Ultimate sign of control of people.
Eat the poor.
Exactly. That will teach them.
I'll get back to you.
Stop wasting my time.
Good evening, Miss...
Dame Imogen Natalia de Villa Quintanilla de Flores.
yeah, that.
You may call me Imogen, darling.
If you don't mind my saying, you don't look like any conspirator I've ever seen before.
Thank you, darling. It's my own unique style.
I'm sure Nina's got a use for everyone here. What part are you playing in her plan?
All we ever do in life is play a role, Dr. Regis. I promised I would assist her when she required. And thus, here I am.
Not as heavy muscle, I guess.
I am very good at networking, Dr. Regis. I taught her everything she knows about it. I lend credibility to her mission with my very presence.
I could understand why some people would want Central removed. The kinds of folks who see it as an obstacle to their work. But what good would it do a celebrity like yourself?
You think in such cynical terms, Dr. Regis. It benefits me because it benefits dear Nina.
You're doing this out of altruism?
Is that so surprising, Dr. Regis?
Yeah.
Frankly, it is. Do you know Dr. Jong?
Of course, darling.
You go back a long way?
One might say that. We were lovers, Dr. Regis.
Oh,
My, they said you came from backwards parts, but I hadn't quite expected a display like this.
Forgive me, Miss Flores. I just find it hard to picture Dr. Jong loving anything.
We were close. Close enough that I came to her aid now that she needs it.
So I hear you're a celebrity?
Oh, Dr. Regis, such an understatement.
You'll have to forgive me, Miss Flores. I'm not big on pop culture.
How refreshing. It's such a shame what the net's doing to the young of today. Though if it wasn't, I wouldn't have nearly the profile I do.
So, what do you do exactly?
I come from a wide background of European nobility. But I can do anything that's asked of me, my dear. Music, talent contests, endorsements.
So essentially, you're famous for being famous?
Precisely. Though much of the work is so tiresome, darling. I delegate a great deal to simulations, lookalikes, and synthetics.
You knew Gil Vanderwall as well?
Only within this gathering. I had no use for his services in talent acquisition.
You mean facilitating criminal skills with buyers?
Indeed, his history in the underworld sounded so thrilling. But personally, he was so dull. Everything was business to him. That husband of his, on the other hand.
That's all for now.
Please.
Ms.
Of course.
Were you aware this restaurant serves human meat?
It's a giddy thrill, isn't it? Have you seen their celebrity selection?
Celebrities?
They have cloned tissue from influential figures of the past 2 centuries. Would you care for leg of John F. Kennedy?
That's appalling.
I know. Non-entities like that, and I'm nowhere to be found. I must complain to the management. Perhaps offer them a sample.
That's all for now, Miss Flores.
Please, darling. Just Imogen.
Dr. Regis, how can I help?
I'm surprised to see a city councilor in a conspiracy like this.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, Dr. Regis.
I guess you've been facilitating things for the plot.
Much as it pains me to misuse my position, that is the case. I've been able to expedite import permits for equipment necessary to Dr. Zhong's plans.
And Central hasn't noticed?
In my role, I'm given considerably more privacy than the average civil servant. No offense, Doctor.
None taken. I just cover the camera in my office with paste. So, I understand what you're doing for it, but why? How does someone in government decide that Central needs removing?
I've read your bio, Dr. Regis. I know that you have no great love for Central. But, in practical terms, I believe it has become a threat to our democratic society.
A threat? How so?
Over the course of its 20 years of operation, Central has begun to develop opinions. For an individual to have done so is natural. For an AI, it is impressive. But in its position, coordinating the actions of government, it poses a risk.
Wouldn't someone notice? Call it out?
There isn't enough to address as yet. It's clever. It's designed to carry out the policies of the Council, and it cannot fail to do so. But it can drag its metaphorical feet, badly implement plans it disagrees with.
You've seen it do this.
I've had suspicions. Dr. Zhang's research confirms the extent to which Central is developing its own conscience. I believe that you yourself recently had a disagreement with it over its handling of a crisis. Another bombing. Central has done well, but there exist many other options today that are equally valid. We need a system that will effectively manage the city and carry out its instructions, not one that cherry-picks what policies it believes appropriate.
How did you get on board with Nina?
I and others in the Cosmopolitan Party have suspected changes in Central's behavior. We sought the assistance of one of its original creators.
Obviously not Vargas. He loves that thing.
Indeed. Her research confirmed that, thanks to the scale of its operations, Central has been able to form its own opinion on the ideal state of affairs, regardless of the democratic consensus.
So when she said that she would remove Central,
It was a difficult decision, but we had to take it. Central's replacement will carry out its role more appropriately.
and Nina will get to continue her research on Central. Why haven't you simply raised this in the council?
Can you imagine what that would mean? Political suicide. Not just for myself, but it would undermine confidence in Newton's world-leading AI industries.
Did you know Giel Vanderwall?
Indeed I did. He was a big donor in politics all over Africa.
And you knew about what he did? His criminal connections?
I'm the one who introduced him to the group. I'm also aware that he introduced the mindjacker you're after to his current employer.
You know about that?
You will need our help to find him, and we need your help to stop him, and Central.
You're on the city council, aren't you?
Indeed I am, Dr. Regis, rep for the Southwest Ward and co-chair of the Cosmopolitan Party.
I remember when you got elected. They called you Mr. Incorruptible. I never got that.
That's because of the device in my head, Dr. Regis.
What is that in your head, counselor?
Why, it's a neural governor, Dr. Regis.
As in, what paroled felons are fitted with?
Similar. While most of those are designed to limit violent behavior, mine prevents me from lying. Thoughts of deceit are met with tremendous pain.
Were you inside?
Oh my no. This was a voluntary choice. After all, most governors are subdermal. I wanted my constituents to see it as a sign of my integrity.
I knew someone with one.
Dr. Baxter. I recall reading about his release last month.
I thought it must have malfunctioned, that he was out for revenge. Turns out he's just dead. It's like someone just inherited his hatred. Just to let you know, I voted for the other guy.
Ah, well, that's your prerogative. Any concerns I might be able to address for next time?
I guess I've always voted Metro, since I lived here.
Ah, inertia. Something difficult to overcome. Give our site a read. You might find you agree with us more than you think.
Counselor, were you aware that this restaurant serves human meat?
Indeed. It's quite distasteful, don't you think? Still, I suppose it's a matter of personal taste since nobody's been hurt. We must respect the freedoms allowed by the laws of this city.
You're not having any then?
Oh no, but I shan't judge anyone for it. They're quite whimsical about it in some ways. I heard good things about their Billy con carne.
Ugh. I'll get back to you, Counselor.
Anything I can do to help, Dr. Regis?
Nina,
Charlie, how can I help?
this plan. You got a city council?
Council, yep,
Do you?
more than he made.
Can you?
The gov, he's plus
So,
a month.
let's change. That's all.
Get me.
Hello? Hey, you all right? Everyone, take cover!
Oh, fuck.
Is anyone hurt?
It's a trap! You try to kill us! Guards!
Shut up, Ron. You're still alive, aren't you?
It appears that poor Imogen is the only one injured.
I'm sorry. She's dead.
I knew it! You tried to kill me! All of you!
Calm down, Ron. You don't know who was behind this.
Kolla mahsöydüm.
Actually, he has a point. All those who knew about this meeting are in this room.
Except, of course, for Charlie.
He only joined us at the last moment. Dr. Regis, will you lend us your skill as an investigator?
Yeah, you find who tried to kill me!
Do this for us, Charlie, and we'll give you everything. We can tell you who has your kids and exactly where he is.
Fine. Just remember, I'm not doing this for your sake. Someone here almost killed me as well.
Thank you anyway, Charlie.
Nothing on it I can use. I'm not exactly equipped to repair synthetics. Nina.
Charlie, how can I help?
Don't you think we should move out? Cell aren't going to ignore a blast like that.
For a harmless little kitchen fire? They won't come.
Kitchen fire? What do you...
They won't send anyone. It's all under control here. We've enough wheels greased at Cell to make sure there's an understanding. Oh, lighten up, Charlie. This is helping you. You can go on a mole hunt at Cell once your children are safe.
I've started my investigation.
It sounds like we've got the right man for the job. I remember when you were so nervous, but now look at you.
It's been a long time. People change.
Even so, my mental image of you is sitting at a DNA sequencer. Perhaps the restaurant would let you use theirs.
Why would a restaurant need a sequencer?
It helps with their rather niche menu.
Can you think of anyone who'd want to do this?
How you doing anyway,
Why
Motley?
recruit a suicide bomber? For this?
Frankly, the main reason I can think of to hire someone for a job like this, hypothetically speaking, of course, would be if one were unable to carry it out oneself.
Can you think of a likely saboteur?
I have my suspicions, but we depend on you for the truth.
I guess I should thank you for not giving them the full picture.
What? That you might have been the one who made that poor young man? Think nothing of it, Charlie. That's what friends are there for. I hear you handled another one last night.
They're getting more and more frequent.
They're nearing their expiry date. Literally. I know they weren't engineered for long lives, just volatility. Their masters have to make use of them before illness diffuses them.
This plot of yours. Let's change. That's all.
Get me informed.
Mr. Stepford.
Oh my!
I've started my investigation of the bombing.
Oh my, yes? I can assure you I had no part in this terrible tragedy.
I hear that a lot.
In fact, my core programming prevents me from harming a human being.
Huh. A synthetic. I guess you'd be the only one leaving lubricant oil instead of DNA evidence.
Oh my, no, Dr. Regis. My outer dermis is organic tissue. It's top of the line, patterned from my creator, Dr. Arthur Stepford.
Huh. I've been learning a lot about synths these past few days. So, you have DNA?
Indeed, it's delightful skin, don't you think?
Sure.
I go to great pains to keep it moisturized.
Could the guards have arranged the bombing? They're obviously synthetics, but I imagine they're more comfortable with hurting people.
They would not be worth much as protection otherwise, oh my, no. But each security platform maintains a constant connection to my own systems. Their degree of independence is limited.
So if one of them were responsible, I'd have to consider you complicit.
Oh my, yes.
Were you aware that this establishment serves human meat?
Oh my, yeah. I'm sure
You don't.
some go.
I'll get...
Oh my.
Mr. Ron,
What you want?
I've started my investigation.
You find who tried to kill me.
Who tried to kill all of us, Mr. Ron?
This city dangerous. Police do lousy job.
Can you recall anything suspicious?
No, stop asking stupid questions.
I'll get back to you.
Stop.
Dr. Regis, how can I help?
I've begun my investigation into the bombing.
If anyone can resolve this, it's you, Dr. Regis.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Counselor. I don't know how much closer I am to figuring out who's behind it, though.
Because of the pool of suspects, it might be better to think about exclusion. Perhaps you can find evidence to rule out those not involved.
I'll get back to you, Counselor.
Anything I can do to help?
Nina,
Charlie,
that's all.
get me in.
Excuse me.
Yes.
What's the situation?
Perimeter secure. Guest behavior within tolerable parameters.
I guess that's one way of putting it. Are you all right? That was quite a blast.
Systems operating at 97%.
I see. You synthetics give me the creeps, you know that? Huh. Guess you're not easily riled up. Did you see the bomber when he came in?
Negative. His appearance was a match for a member of the serving staff.
And you call yourself a bodyguard?
It is likely that the suspect prepared this operation in advance. To achieve this, he would have to supplant a member of staff before our arrival.
Question is, where did he hide the waiter he replaced? Keep up the... Apparently, this mirror is having a software error. Huh. Before I came to Newton, that sentence wouldn't have made any sense to me. It's already been opened. Ow! Whatever it is, it's got sharp edges. Hello? Huh. It's like someone just... Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Regis. Nina's asked me to investigate the explosion.
A cell agent? Well, all right. Just be careful what you touch. This place is half kitchen, half lab.
A suicide bomber attacked the gathering upstairs. He was disguised as one of your waiters.
Whoa. I wondered what that was. What did he look like?
Blonde, about 1.65 meters, might have looked uncomfortable or limping.
Huh. Biobomber?
That's right. How did you guess?
You mentioned the limp. They've got pretty serious health problems, don't they?
Yeah, he might have replaced one of your staff.
Huh. They all checked in.
If he incapacitated one of your staff, can you think of where they'd do that?
It'd have to be somewhere you could hide a body, I guess.
There are human bodies in your kitchen.
Yes, there are. It's a freezer. What are you, the food inspector?
Give me a good reason I shouldn't haul your ass down to cell.
It's all legal, I guarantee. They're annual clones, grown without brain tissue.
I know what it means. I guess the presentation was a shock. You get a lot of clandestine meetings like this taking place?
You'd be surprised. This place is popular with the wealthy. Haven't had an assassination before, though.
You know what they're discussing up there.
They don't tell me, and I don't ask about anything but their orders. Dr. Zhang pays me enough to know I probably shouldn't.
What's with the bouncer?
He came with Mr. Stepford's party, along with a few others. I think he was supposed to be guarding the kitchen, but...
What happened?
Well, he wasn't very talkative, but after I started working, he just kind of zoned out. Couldn't get an answer out of him.
I like the glowing fish in the tank you've got.
Thanks. I made those myself. They were my first gengineering project.
Luciferin luciferae from fireflies?
Well spotted. I imported the sequence into red snappers and kept them viable. 10 generations now.
A lot of academies use those as a starter project. That's impressive.
We keep them as a reminder of where we came from. Or in case the power goes out.
I like the glowing thing.
They were, well, 10
A lot.
or
Why is this restaurant serving cloned human tissue?
I trained in engineering at Darwin. We'd flash grow human bodies to test DNA alterations. So I guess human tissue is what I'm most familiar with.
You're a engineer.
Well, I dropped out before my PhD. I learned enough to sample DNA and use it to grow flash clones.
No kidding. My background's in engineering as well. You altered these bodies?
None of these. They're all template. Caucasian, male, 20s, brown hair.
This is quite the setup you've got. Combined sampler growth chamber?
That's right. We usually use the template. Sometimes get specialist orders, though.
Like if someone wants to eat themselves?
Sometimes. We can ready up a new cadaver in about a week with it.
I can't access cell at the moment. I might need to use your equipment.
Do you have to? You know you'd have to flush the current growth.
Sorry about that. Tell you what, Nina will reimburse you.
Well, okay.
Going from engineering to catering, that's quite a switch.
Most of my family are cooks. They run a restaurant in Vietnam. When I was at med school, someone found out about my family. Dared me to make something out of human muscle tissue.
And?
And it turned out my human bolognese was really, really good. Not just being immodest or anything.
You said you dropped out. Is that why?
Yeah. Turns out the academy had regulations about improper disposal of remains. But now I had an idea, and I knew there'd be a market for it somewhere. My family are great chefs, and I can make human bodies. Bingo.
What's your advice for cooking human meat?
Planning on going into competition with me? Well, you know how they say everything tastes like chicken? It's actually better if you treat human tissue like pork.
Like pork?
Yeah. Sausages, slices, filet. There's a lot you can do with it.
The sequencer's a different model to my usual.
Cell's probably got something more impressive than that thing. You have to purge the current project before you can do anything. Then you can submit genetic material to start a new growth project.
What kind of material will it take?
Blood, dermal tissue, almost anything. Makes it easier to get a sample from customers.
Thanks.
Whatever I can do to help.
There isn't enough DNA. Excuse me.
Yep.
The sequence.
Cell's probably got some. You have to. Then you can.
What kind of material?
Blood makes it easy.
Thanks.
Whatever I can.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I found one of your buddies in the kitchen. He doesn't look well.
Please report technical issues to management.
Who's in charge?
Situational command has been assigned to Mr. Liam Stepford.
Huh. Fancy taking orders from a guy like that. Are you all right?
Systems op...
Use. Huh. Are you all...
System...
Keep up. Mr. Stepford.
Oh my...
I found one of your heavies in the kitchen. Looks like something's knocked it out cold.
Oh my, a technical fault, no doubt. May I ask you to show me the defective platform?
Sure, I guess.
Excellent. We can't have our firm slandered by accusations of low-quality units. Dr. Regis, Oh my.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I know what's going on. The cavity magnetron in the growth array. It generates a huge mag flux in here.
It broke them. Is it permanent?
What do I look like, a tech?
Mr. Step. Nope, he hasn't got not unless I want to really Nina,
Charlie, how can I help?
this Stepford's in.
That's one way. Don't
I get
you?
he's a
You might.
Stepford.
That you.
He's a hack.
You might
Let's. That's
get me.
Dr.
I'll get
anything. Dr.
I'll-
anything.
Mr. Ron.
What you want?
I'll get back. Hello? Hello? Apparently, There's the remains of a first aid kit. Someone's used all of the med patches and pseudoderm spray. Must have had an injury. The only item left is a bottle of harsh-smelling toilet cleaner. A powerful combination of bleach, enzymes, and antimicrobial wetware designed to kill bacteria in plumbing. It makes a lot of scientific-sounding claims on the label. Smells vaguely of lemon before the aftertaste of chlorine hits. I can't figure... Can't do that. Ow! Hey! Ugh. I can't figure... Excuse me.
Yes.
The sequencer's a different model to my usual.
Cell's probably got something more impressive than that thing. You have to purge the current project before then you can submit.
What kind of material?
Blood makes it easy.
I like the glowing...
Thanks. They were my
Elusive.
Well, 10.
A lot of...
We or
A suicide. He was disguised...
whoa. What did he?
Blonde.
Huh.
That's...
You mentioned the limp.
Yeah.
Huh.
If he...
It'd have to be
Thanks.
whatever I.
Hey, stop the carousel.
What's wrong?
These bodies are supposed to be clones, right? So why is this one blonde?
Oh God, Henry. What happened to him?
He's taken a nasty blow to the head. Looks like it's the hypothermia that's finished him, though.
Oh, nuke. Why'd they leave him in the freezer?
Best place to hide a tree is a forest. Best place to hide a body is with a whole lot of other bodies.
Why Henry? He was such a nice boy.
Same hair color as the bomber. Whoever's behind this took his uniform for the bomber's disguise.
Somebody would have seen him being dragged across the restaurant.
He must have been killed in here. I'll find who's behind this. Excuse me.
Yes.
Thanks.
Whatever I could.
It's got no personality to split. An empty glass jar. According to the label, it used to contain spices. Any credible hospital would use an automated surgical array to make amputations, but I've seen a few cases out in bandit country where a saw had to do. Since the subjects in this case are cadavers, there's probably a lot more room for being sloppy, allowing for a manual saw. It's too big to get. Nothing on him except his underpants. Mr. Stepford? Mr. Step... That'd be a... That's not... Ugh. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Thanks.
whatever.
I'm not sure what... The jar is stuffed with meat from a cloned kitchen cadaver. There isn't enough DNA. Gotcha. I've caught a glowing fish. It'd probably look more impressive in a dark... I can't figure... The bomber's bag. A crumpled note found in the bomber's possessions, apparently from whoever hired him. It says, a crumpled note found in... Can't do... A crumpled note... There's nothing else. Ow! The vent cover's been unlatched from the inside. The bomber must have gained entry through here. Whoever their accomplice on the inside was did a number on their hand. The vent's cover's got a sharp edge and is still wet with blood.
Whoever did it has got a cut.
crumpled... Excuse me, Counselor.
A note to the bomber? Who is GBWU?
If they're like the others I've met, it means God be with you.
You've had experience with these terrorists before.
You could say that.
I'm even more confident that we're in good hands then.
What do you make of this, Mr. Ron?
What it say?
You can't read English?
English second language. I got secretary for that.
You don't say.
Not you two, then.
What do you make of this, Nina?
Hey, the bomber's instructions. Where'd you find this?
A vent access by the bathroom. They'd apparently been in communication beforehand.
Good job, Charlie. This may help us find out who let them in.
Nina,
Charlie, how can I help?
that's all.
Get me in.
Dr. Regent,
I've discovered how the bomber managed to get into the restaurant. Apparently, someone here let them in through the vent in the bathroom.
a sound approach. They can enter unseen if they did it before Mr. Stepford's men arrived.
Whoever opened it did a number on their hand. Left a lot of blood.
You wish to check my hands, Dr. Regis?
Nah, whoever it was will have slapped on a medipatch. Any visible injury will be gone in 10 minutes.
How unfortunate.
I'll get back to you, Counselor.
Anything I can do to help?
Mr. Step. Nope, he hasn't got anything I can use. Not unless I want. Mr. Stepford. The crumple. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Thanks.
whatever.
I'm not sure what I... Nah. Nah. Excuse me.
Yes.
I like the glowing
Thank they will teleport.
Thanks.
Whatever.
Mr. Step. Nope, not unless... I can't figure... I'm not sure. I can't figure... I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What am I? What am I? What? What? Can't do. What? What? Nah. What? out, you think?
Regis, is everything all right?
A bomber. Someone targeted this get-together.
Want me to call it in? Maybe now is when we should get Central involved.
No, I've got it covered for the time being. If Central asks, you know nothing.
Got it.
The brain's corrupted. I can't restart it. It's got no... It's too badly damaged. It's got no... It's got... Excuse me.
Oh my, yes.
What's the situation?
Just dandy, my good man.
Did you see the bomber when he came in?
Oh my, no. That little sod must have gotten in before us.
Are you all right?
My system log shows a mind state alteration made moments ago. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Just a little tweak. Oh my, yes.
I found one of your buddies in the kitchen. He doesn't look well.
Oh dear, does Mr. Stepford know? He's a lovely man. He'll get sorted right out. Oh my, yes.
Actually, he's kind of broken as well. You're wearing his personality.
Well, that does explain a thing or two.
You sound really different from your colleagues.
You know what they say, variety is the spice of life. Mm-hmm.
Keep up the...
Don't hurt. We'll protect you.
Hey, who's that? Excuse me.
Yes.
Are you all right? That
Systems oper...
use. Huh. Keep up. It's got... Excuse me.
Oh my, yes.
Keep up.
Don't... We'll...
Hey. Excuse...
Yes.
Are you all...
System...
Use... Huh. Keep...
Oh,
You sound...
you know-
Keep...
don't worry, we'll protect. My word, this is a peculiar experience.
Mr. Stepford,
Oh my, yes, thank you.
do you know what happened? The chef mentioned something about mag flux.
Allow me to check the crash log. Yes, it appears that the kitchen was indeed saturated with a high-intensity magnetic field. No doubt from an item of hardware. They often pose a hazard to advanced synthetic platforms.
You're okay, though.
Quite so, thanks to your timely intervention. They really ought to have a warning sign on that kitchen, oh my.
So, synthetics can't operate in there?
Oh my, no. A field of that strength is positively ghastly. Like working in a cloud of chlorine for men such as yourself. Oh, if you'll excuse me, I must change into something more comfortable.
We know the waiter was murdered within the kitchen. The mag field would be lethal to any synthetics trying to get in there. That means we can rule out Stepford as a suspect.
Aha!
Ah, Dr. Regis, might I have a word in private? We're alone?
As alone as we're going to get. What do you want?
Your investigation is drawing to an end, is it not?
There still leads to chase up. Why?
You are, without a doubt, a skilled detective, Dr. Regis. I am proud that the city employs only the finest. I believe that your inquiry will find only one credible suspect, myself.
You're going to plead your innocence? Tell me it's a mistake?
Not at all. You see, I am indeed responsible for the attack.
You lied to us. The governor's a fake then. I'm sure your voters would love to find that out.
The governor is working as well as it ever has. I have not once lied to you, Dr. Regis.
I asked you if you hired the bomber.
I did not. My assistant hired the bomber, at my request.
Politicians.
People have to phrase their questions to me very carefully.
You'd better have a real good reason for all this.
For various values of good. You recall Gil Vanderwall?
Of course. Things have gone downhill since he got involved in my case.
2 years ago, much to my shame, I did something terrible. I took part in a vote-fixing program for the Cosmopolitan Party, and they promised me this office in the next election. Gil discovered this and has been blackmailing me ever since.
But why the suicide bomber?
He realized that Nina's project might lead to his death. He was a spiteful man, and he needed a guarantee that he could strike back against her if that happened.
From beyond the grave.
Essentially, I was his guarantee.
He wanted you to kill Nina for him?
Or materials he has on me would be released to the public. My career, my family would be ruined.
So instead of turning you in, I should...
Tell them that Ron Schumann was responsible.
What? Frame an innocent man?
You've spoken to him, Dr. Regis. He is a truly, objectively despicable individual.
You're one to talk.
What I've done was terrible, but I wish to make reparations for what I've done. After this is done, I shall devote my life's work to annihilating corruption in our city. Ron wishes no more than to desecrate and pollute our nation as he has done his own.
You nearly killed us all with that bomber.
I apologize most sincerely for that, Dr. Regis. Had I known someone such as yourself would be present, I would have found other means. Please, consider what this means for the city.
Charlie, what have you found?
I've completed my investigation.
That was most swift.
Though effective, I've no doubt.
Who tried to kill us?
After finding enough evidence to exclude all other parties, the only conclusion possible is that Ron Schumann is responsible.
What?
My word.
Ron, is this true?
What? No! He's lying! Someone pay him to frame me!
I trust Regis's judgment.
As do I.
Dr. Regis is a man of good character.
That leaves us only one option, I'm afraid. Liam.
What are you doing?
Wait, stop!
Poor dear Mr. Ron. Tragically thrown from the building by the blast.
You're completely insane.
We're doing what we have to, Charlie. As promised, the information you require. The man who has your kids, your mind-jacker, is a contractor, Jayam Kressel. He's based out of an aerostat currently moored at the Xanadu dockyard.
You haven't changed one bit, Nina.
I hope you find what you're looking for, Charlie. By the way, that's an interesting choice that you made. Perhaps we're more alike than you'd admit.
The uptake reports came in. Looks like there was a 99.1% volume of new code in the embryo.
Oh, that's fantastic. We'll have a viable specimen for testing within days.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have had the same kind of uptake if it was one of the brain-dead ones. So, how did you manage to score these full-scope human embryos?
You don't need to worry about it. It's all legal. Not like we used an organ legger. They've been sourced legitimately.
Uh-huh. You used your own, didn't you?
How did you find out?
Same way Charlie did.
Oh, nuke me. He knows?
He's been on the warpath looking for you all evening.
Vicky!
Uh-oh.
Dr. Chigwa, may I speak to my wife?
Charlie, you better not—
Get out! Dr. Baxter just congratulated me on what a noble gesture I was making for science. Apparently, we volunteered our own embryos for gengineering.
I'm sorry I hadn't told you yet. Dr. Vargas was having enough trouble stalling the council. We needed to start showing results, so I made the decision for both of us.
You didn't think I'd object if I knew beforehand?
Well, no. Using our own embryos was the right thing to do to keep the project afloat.
You have no idea what I'm upset about.
Sure I do. You're mad because I didn't talk with you about it first.
No! Well, yes, I am, but that's not why I feel like this.
I understand. It was a big decision. We've invested a lot of time and energy into having kids. I'd probably be upset in your position, but I'd have hoped you'd trust me to make choices for the both of us.
Oh, God, you haven't understood what's wrong with this at all.
It's not as if we're bringing the embryos to term. Their lives aren't going to be affected by the alterations we're making.
We've already affected them by using them in this role.
We're only using one, maybe two of the embryos we've got for the project. The other 4 are still stored at Alrecis.
It's not a matter of whether we can make more or not. We could have thousands of embryos on standby. It'd still be wrong.
You know, sometimes your old world sensibilities are charming, but not this time. What is it they believe where you're from? That life begins at conception?
You know damn well what I've done with human gengineering in the past. I'm well past being able to object for moral reasons.
It's not the fact that we're engineering human embryos. It's that there are embryos.
I spent 2 years weaponizing children. The fact that they were destined, doomed to a purpose.
It's one thing to have your life affected by a quirk of genetics, but when you've been deliberately altered before birth to fit a role.
I'd hoped that I'd escaped it, but seeing it with our own kids, it's just...
I understand, Charlie. I'll talk to Dr. Vargas about it.
He won't be happy. It sounds like he was counting on this.
You'll just have to deal with it.
Hello?
We're closed.
Can I just...
No, go away.
You don't even...
No, it's too hot to argue.
Can't I...
Get out of here, Thrall.
Can't I...
Get out of here. Get out of here.
The wetware won't form a connection.
Hey, be it, Thrall. Hey, be it, Thrall.
It looks like it could be opened. Real subtle.
Oh, damn it. Why'd it have to break tonight?
Can't I...
Get out of here.
Can't I...
Get out of here.
I don't... The wetware... I can't... There's only some... The screen's probably not... I'd better save my wetware from... All this vandalism. Maybe people are right. Perhaps too much trancing really is warping my morals and principles. Man, I can't wait to get back in the trance. I don't know how...
Salam, Mandela.
Hi. I'm finally at the site. You were right. I can feel the connection.
That is good to hear. You managed to avoid detection in your journey?
Yeah, nobody noticed me. Just some thrall wandering the southwest city. What is it you need me to do here?
We have the ID for their system, but are unable to access it. You must get close enough to it to act as a relay point.
Then your tech teams break into it and find out what their plans are?
Exactly.
I can sense the signal you've mentioned. I've got a visual representation in my trance hub.
Good. You'll know how close you are to your goal.
If they're trying to hide, why are they broadcasting like this?
Like much of hacking, we must look for mistakes our target makes. What you sense is not intentional on their part.
Oh, so it's seepage? Like inter-system connections they haven't noticed?
Precisely. Many of their own devices communicate wirelessly. Their attempt at security involves limiting the range. They therefore avoid attacks from the net at large.
But if you can get a relay close enough...
Then we may study their signal as though we were by your side.
Remind me...
We shall...
Okay. Do you have any...
We've suspicions that it's related to your unusually high sync rate. I don't think I've seen a mind-machine interface work so fast outside of a laboratory.
Aha! So you're a scientist.
I thought it was considered poor netiquette to pry into one's outside life.
Yeah, sorry. Just that this isn't the kind of thing I normally get into.
You feel unsafe and believe that a greater comprehension would alleviate it. I understand perfectly. All you need to know about me is that I'm on your side, Mandela.
You said Cell wasn't out to get me. So why was a Cell agent trying to blow me up?
If he's acting independently of Cell, it means one of two things. Something about your death would benefit him, or he is being compelled to act in such a way.
I hope it's number 2. If we can stop whoever's behind this first, then it means he's got no reason to come after me.
Let us hope.
What is your breaching team going to do? When I reach the systems, I mean.
We aim to rip their memory drives. Cloning them onto another system allows us to perform more destructive analytics.
Plus, the process would wreck their whole system as well. Better hope they haven't got any people connected to the system. Anyone wired's going to find their brains fried and stored in a mem capsule.
Of course, before this takes place, we will secure a back door to the system. That way we will not depend on you as a relay. You will therefore be able to escape once this has been accomplished.
So, the people trying to kill me are working out of an old aerodrome?
Quite so. This air freight business collapsed last year. We suspect it was bought up as a front for this criminal enterprise.
They're storing their data systems in the aerostat? Why don't they just split it up and hide it in the trans?
Physical security is as much a concern for admins as system integrity. If they suspect someone of getting too close...
They can just take off. I'll get back to you.
Good luck.
The chips made a... Sure, if I feel like...
Hey, being... Hey,
I'm not... There's only so much... I'm a...
hey,
The wetware... The wetware won't...
hey, hands up.
Real subtle.
Hey,
What was I don't know how... I can't... There's only... All this vandalism. Man, I can't... I can't... There's only so much... There's only... I can reach it, but he... Hello? Guess that tranquil... I don't need to hack it. He didn't... Hello? Guess that Sorry. I don't know. I don't need...
Salam, Mandela.
Hi. Remind me just when we should. Okay. I'll get back. Good luck. It's amazing how many people don't put enough security on their Gibsons. They assume they've got enough willpower to stop intruders on their own.
Where am I? How did I even get here?
Don't you remember? Your work.
Oh, yeah.
And you're afraid of something.
Oh, shit. Good morning, Mr. Crystal.
He's mad at you, isn't he?
What?
There's something you've forgotten to do in that other room.
I'll just get in there and...
Oh dear, the code's not working. What's the holdup? Can't you do your job properly? Am I going to have to stick you on night duty permanently?
No, sir. I just need to enter the code.
What code is that?
44138. Sir.
Well done. You've passed this inspection.
Thank you, sir.
Dismissed. Now we just wait and...
All right, let's get it loaded. Yeah, you know how bitchy the doc gets waiting. Hang on. The measurements are wrong. What? Eddie must have screwed it up. The manifest says it should be showing lighter. Ugh, idiot. Send it back and get him to recheck the weights.
A121. A1. What I'm talking you doing, man?
Salam, Mandela.
Hi. I think I found a way to get closer. They won't load the cargo crate.
Did they?
Only a little.
Perhaps they won't handle it because it does not match their expectations?
Well, I've got to hide in it. I can't change that.
Then you need to change what they expect to find.
I think I found a... They...
Only perhaps... Well, then...
I'll get...
Good.
work out how much I weigh.
The connection's getting stronger and must be on the right track. The chips made a connection to my wetware systems that allow it to be used in the trance.
Gotta be a weighing machine in there, I guess.
It's just a readout showing how much weight.
Oh, okay, so 51 to 96. 45. So I need to add 45 kilograms to the weight of A121. No, wait. Reverse and back up. A121. I need to add 45 to that. So 45 plus 30 is 75. Get in the box.
Here we go again.
Let's see if Addie's got it right this time. Okay, weight's looking good. Try the scanner.
Hang on. The scanner's reading the contents as organic. Addie's got it listed as inorganic.
Ah, typical. Send it back. We can't.
Motherfucking A. Right,
Here we go again.
Let's see if Addie's got it right this time. Okay.
Scans show organic. Same as the manifest.
Fantastic. Get it aboard. Kreisel and the doc want to cast off.
The signal's going crazy. I must be on top of... Huh?
The simulations exceeded its buffer.
Took her long enough. I think Jinsel did a pretty good job on that one. Why'd you have to get someone like Jinsel involved in it, though?
Because when I asked you to do it, you apparently couldn't keep your thirst for revenge in check. Or should I say Baxter's thirst for revenge. I don't see why you store the targets in your own wiring. It's obviously not good for you.
It's more secure. I suppose Jinsel did their job.
Got her to walk right in the front door. Even packaged and delivered herself. Ha! We have some big plans for you, sister.
This is the place.
what the fuck? Okay.
Damn.
Stop squirming, will you?
That operator will shoot me down the moment I open the door. What do I look like? That's what I've got loud. What do I look? That's what I've... What do I look? That's what I've got. What do I look? That's what I've got. What do I... That's what I... What do I... That's... What do I... That's what I've got. A big old jolt. What do I... That's what I've... Loud, you there?
Standing by and waiting for...
You remember the...
Don't worry about me. You just...
What do I look? That's what I've got. What do I... That's what... That'd be a... Nah. What do I... That's what I... What do I... That's what I... What do I... That's what I've... What do I... That's what I've... That up. I don't think it... I don't... I'm not sure what... What do I... That's what I've got. I'm not sure. What do I... That's what... Can't... What do I... That's what I've... What do I... That's what... What do... That's what I've got. What do I... That's what...
You're here!
Who are you?
You've got to get me out of here! They kidnapped me 2 weeks ago! I've been forced to conduct research for them in this aerostat.
Research? What kind of research?
Human experimentation. This poor girl. You see that hardware in the corner?
What the hell?
The upper level is clear, but Oh. Huh.
Gave him a shot in the back. Your problem is, you overcomplicate things.
Still conscious?
That's how the wetware works. You can't rip his memory, though. He isn't wired.
I'm aware, Ms. Vargas. Take his weapon. This is something I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Ugh, no you haven't. Baxter was looking forward to it.
What's that? I can't hear you.
It's quite a powerful paralytic, isn't it? An unfortunate yet necessary part of our mutual friend here's role.
My targets have to be conscious when I pull the contents of their minds. I'd love to rip the Regis clean out of your head as well.
I told you, he's not wired.
I know, but I know what'll really get to him. What's this? An embryo? It's rather a contentious issue for us, isn't it? Rather a bit of history between us over these little things. Oops. Fragile things, the unborn. Don't worry. Plenty more where that came from. I think this one is going to grow up to be a great success. World leader, Nobel laureate, maybe follow in their father's footsteps. Oops, all gone. Vicky would be so proud, wouldn't she?
Cressel.
After all, you showed her how important those things were. More than anything else in the world, apparently.
Baxter! You seriously need professional help.
Sir, ma'am. Smart cam feed shows another cell agent just boarded the aerostat. Female, about 1.75 meters.
Huh. Should have known she'd still be after her partner. Commander, prepare to weigh anchor. Cressel, deal with our new cell intruder. Then resolve whatever issues you have with Dr. Regis.
With pleasure.
You've what?
Don't go anywhere.
No, he's taken over Baxter's mind.
Gotcha.
Wow, nice throw, Chantel.
Did I do good, Dr. Max?
You did great. I'd better find where Regis went.
It's the maid! She just ripped the shit out of him.
Hey, stop! What the hell's going on in here? Regis! Locked. I've got my own.
You've missed so much.
Regis,
you
can
really
you hear
have.
me? Better figure out how to fix you. That's not going as...
Okay, where did you get up to with my last playthrough? Were you even at the last playthrough? What's the last thing you saw? Two terabytes of... What the hell? What?
Excuse me?
Hello there.
Who are you?
Allow me to introduce myself, my dear. My name is Dr. Baxter. I operate the cataloging station.
Baxter? Dr. Adam Baxter?
I believe so, yes.
This might sound like a really stupid question, but what's death like?
I can see why this would be a useful matter for scientific curiosity. In my case, I'm afraid it's probably not representative. After all, can I really be said to be dead when my memory, my consciousness lives on?
I suppose all you could remember would be the physical destruction of yourself.
And that, most assuredly, was a great discomfort.
Okay, what you've missed is Regis coming across Nina again. So one of the old scientists he worked with when he was creating Central. Now in present time, she is trying to take down Central with a group of people. And what happened was, while you were talking to these people in this very, 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 very exclusive place where only the people in that meeting knew they were going to be there, the bomber that you saved on the train, he came out. He came out as a waiter for this bar, and then blew up, killing one of the people at the meeting who was the celebrity, and you know, everyone else. And then basically you had to, because all the people in that meeting were the only people there, that means that the person who hired the waiter, or the suicide bomber, had to be in that meeting. He was bioengineered though. He might have been dead, but he was a bioengineered product. They can make him again. 1 second. But yeah, that's the gist of it. So that's what's happened so far. Basically, I worked out that it was I found out who it was at the meeting. It was the counselor, and he said, you know, he said it was the counselor that did it, but then he convinced me to say it was someone else, because the only reason he did that was because he was trying to kill Vanderwall, the guy who was killed in his house in that very, very fucked up scenario by the maid. But he was meant to die in that meeting. So the bomber that was hired came to do his job, but his victim was already dead. His target was already dead. But he didn't know that. He just, you know, he was just told to do it. And then they gave me the location as to who has my embryos. Who was this guy, who just got thrown onto the floor. He's called Kaisel, but he's obviously taken over Baxter's mind as well.
Excuse me if this sounds a little rude, but aren't you dead?
How do you mean?
Well, yesterday I was probing your well-preserved remains at a crime scene.
Oh, yes. You're quite right.
Yeah, you did.
Killed, wasn't I?
I've tried to tell you every time, but you obviously been like busy on your computer, or you've been away
It was definitely
from
him,
Skype.
no doubt about it. One can't exactly commit suicide with a hammer, can they? I'm aware that I was murdered, but I have a surprisingly vivid memory of it.
You remember being murdered?
Not precisely. It's as though it were an out-of-body experience. I have memory of watching the hammer striking from above. My hands.
Oh, right.
His hands. So bloody. It's all very peculiar, isn't it?
And you see no difficulty between being dead and talking to me.
That is most odd.
Do you know a Dr. Regis?
I know two, in fact. Charles and Viction. I killed Viction, didn't I?
So I've heard.
It's very peculiar. I remember that I did it, but I can't recall the deed, nor my feelings on the matter.
You feel nothing?
I know I ought to. An act such as that would be emotionally weighty, but all that remains is an absence. Do give my regards to Charles if you see him, though.
How do you feel about Dr. Regis? Charles Regis.
I feel nothing particularly. I regret his decision to remove the embryos from the program, but
Nothing else? No anger? No revenge?
none at all.
Maybe it's the influence of the neural governor on your behavior.
By no means. The weight of that cruel apparatus has been lifted.
I guess because you're no longer attached to it.
And yet, I feel nothing that would warrant it.
Good, good. I'm glad you got shit done. Always nice when you get shit done.
This might... What? Can you remember who killed you?
It was the blonde gentleman, wasn't it? Though I can recall it in the first person, I'm certain it was him.
How so?
He was my only company in the room, and I do not recognize him. I also realize how absurd the idea of my having committed this murder would be.
Do you know why he murdered you?
At first, I don't believe it was to have been a murder. This gentleman had larceny in mind. I recall his feeling so.
Mindjacking. He was stealing the contents of your neural wiring, your brain.
Quite so. I was, after all, a leader in my field in the day. And while my memory was doubtless useful to him, he found something unexpected. A well of motivation, suppressed by years of therapy and technological intervention.
Your anger against Regis.
He took my mind.
That's definitely a fucking
as well.
personal record for anyone. Jeez.
Why would anyone want to keep that part of your mind? What use would someone have for your desire for revenge?
Perhaps it isn't a matter of his need as the desire's need. Though suppressed by the governor, my thoughts on the matter were all-consuming. Now they have found a conduit through which they may act.
The mindjacker isn't in as much control as he'd like to think then. Thanks for the help.
You are most welcome, my dear.
Regis, can you... Better figure out...
Oh, my head.
Thanks, Max. Great job saving my ass and everything.
Yeah, and sticking me with an injector. You suddenly a medic?
Just a lucky hunch. You going to fill me in on what's going on here?
Later. Update me on the immediate situation first.
Well, the bad news is I saw someone escape through the hatch at the top of that ladder.
Damn. It sounded like she was one of the ringleaders of this plan.
On the other hand, our newest recruit just made her first caller.
New recruit.
Oh yeah, you're going to love this.
Oh.
Ah, damn it, I don't believe it.
It ran out of charge again, didn't it?
She must have overexerted herself. Damn it, I had him right here.
Whoa, what's happening? The aerostat's taking off.
So what have you been doing?
Where are they taking it?
Playing single-player games?
Wherever it is, we need.
You all right, Charlie? I'm not sure how much of that stuff I was supposed to give you.
I'll be fine.
You're in no fit state for any more trouble. Stay down here, try and figure out what they're doing with the girl. I'll find a way to the upper deck. Shunt. Damn! I'll see if I can get her up and running again. Locked. As much as I love shocking things, I've got my... Hey Regis, you want your
Later.
Suit yourself, but this... I've breached their comm system. Now it thinks my traveler's part of their network.
Oh. So what have you been doing then?
Cobalt 3, do you,
Cobalt 3 standing by.
Cobalt 3, what is your status?
Perimeter secure. No sign of hostiles.
Copy that. Cobalt 3, hostile sighted to starboard side.
Copy that. Already in position for intercept.
Cobalt, do you...
Cobalt 3.
Cobalt 3, Cobalt, do you...
Cobalt 3.
Cobalt 3... Locked. Chantel? Damn! I wonder what this was for. Hey, this... Top of the pricey stuff.
Downloading, finding all programs, carrying over saves, data. Oh, cool.
Not something...
I think I popped into one stream. God damn. You've been busy.
Most thralls... She's got her own. Most thralls are practically leaking from the ears with wetware wiring. Wetware's not... Wetware's... Cobalt 3, do you...
Cobalt 3.
Cobalt 3, mission is compromised. Scrub the operation and return to base.
What? Negative, actual. Il Sitrep shows objectives not compromised.
Damn, worth a shot. Cobalt 3.
All systems go. Awaiting...
Copy. Cobalt 3.
So he's taking over back to the man again. It's Kaiser, like the guy that you saw get thrown over by Chantel. This one here. She powered down, so he got away. But that's the guy who's taking over back to his mind. Yes, it is now. I bought this yesterday from Burton for a stupid amount of money, but I've always wanted. I've had one of these before, but I've grown out of it, and then I got that from Primark that was like dirt cheap. And I was like, I want it again. You know, I want another shirt, one that fits. Cause it's gotten too small, the other one. And this is the like closest thing to it, and it was like 25 quid or something. I was just like, oh, why? Oh, but oh well.
She's out. Hey, Regis.
Yes, Dr. Lau?
You feeling any better?
A little. How did you know to come to my rescue?
I broke their comms channels. Figured I owed it to them. Cracked the bug they put in my system and rode the signals back to theirs.
I'll never be able to figure out how you do these things, Max.
Which guarantees my job security. Can I get an update?
We need to get after the people running this aerostat.
Thank
and
you.
This conspiracy. I'll see what I can do for this girl.
You're very kind. You're very, very kind.
So, Nita Jong led us to these people. She's helping us find whoever set you up for Baxter's murder, right?
There's that. And Max, I haven't been completely honest with you.
There's a surprise. Dr. Cryptic has been withholding info.
Ah, cram it, Lau. These people, they took something from me. Embryos fertilized by myself and by Vicky, my wife.
These people stole your embryos? Your kids?
They needed me to get their memory module for them from Vanderwall. And they knew exactly what my price would be.
Wait, they tried to get you to help them?
They forced me, Max. There was no way I could say no. Those embryos, they were all I had left of her. And because of those people, of all this...
I hate to say it, Regis, but you're in serious trouble. They broke you with this. They nearly compromised this case because of it. You should have told me. I'd have done what I could.
Nobody could have helped me, Max. I was obsessed. I panicked. I felt like I was doing it for her, for my wife.
Regis, I hate to say this so bluntly. Your wife is dead. You have an obsession with these artifacts of her. The garden, the embryos.
Max.
You need to focus, Regis. People need our help right now. We've been led straight to our lead suspect. Can I count on you to do the right thing?
The embryos are gone. He destroyed them. There's nothing else they've got to twist me.
Okay, good. Nina's led us right to the minejacker?
He was the blonde one Chantel took down. I heard him gloat about what he'd done. He stores the target's information within his own wiring until he can offload it.
Looks like he's got quite an operation behind him. I guess it's not surprising he's been robbing synapses all over the world. Gotta be for something more than corporate espionage at this rate. Who was escaping through the ceiling hatch? It wasn't the minejacker, was it?
No. He's the one Chantel caught, briefly. By the sound of it, the minejacker's working for her.
His work is part of a larger plan of hers, then?
Possibly. She's the one running this lab, for sure.
So, the minejacker tried to blackmail you because you're on this case?
It's more than that. It sounded personal.
Maybe you've crossed paths before?
No, not with him. The way he talked, it was like he was out for revenge. Not just that. It's as if he were Baxter looking for revenge.
That's impossible. Baxter's dead, for one thing. Maybe he's his son?
No, he's a minejacker. When he drained Baxter, he didn't just get information. He got his motivation as well. And it stuck.
Sounds like he got a lot more than he bargained for. Chantal's really pulling her weight in this job.
It's a shame it couldn't hold down Cressel, the minejacker.
Hey, cut her some slack. She took down 2 heavies on the tarmac.
I'm not going to make any promises about taking her on full time.
You're just worried about synthetics stealing your job.
You may as well take this now. You seem to be the maid wrangler.
So, this Kressel guy, the mindjacker, he killed Baxter?
And by the sound of it, ripped the contents of his mind first.
When I saw Baxter's head, I thought that either his killer really hated him.
Like
Sounds
I would,
fun.
or he was covering up evidence of a mindjacking by destroying his brain tissue.
It's a theory. Sounds like we might be able to back it up. So, we know that he's apparently ripped dozens of prominent individuals in a number of fields.
Including Baxter, some of whom is apparently stuck. Question is, what's all this setup?
What do they plan on doing with the data they've stolen? Straight neural data's hard to process. That is, unless you've got an AI to
I know, it's amazing.
Whatever it is,
Even mine,
must
like,
involve
after
this
so long of having it, it still worked. Like, I can still boot up to the desktop, and then, like, when it's booted up to the fucking desktop, like, you know, load up Chrome instantly. You don't have to wait for 50 things to load up, etc.
Chantal's. That's never
Why?
out. Central's gonna be pretty pissed about this. More than usual, I mean.
Is it working again?
Yeah, we fought off the intrusion.
Damn. I was hoping they'd broken it permanently.
Nah, we could handle it. It was a weird attack, though. Like, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Well-trained hackers. Foreign intelligence?
No, better than that. Like, they were intimately familiar with Central. Then, as sudden as it had started, the attack halted about 18 hours later. So, what do we do from here?
Now we know this is where the mindjacker's operating from.
We need to find out what their plans for all those stolen memories are.
We'd better find out where this aerostat's going, too.
The best way of covering all those would be apprehending these people. Any idea who the thrall in Skanto Blue is?
Not a clue. She must be important to their plan.
Maybe she just wandered into their airfield. A useful test subject for whatever this is.
She was at Cell earlier. She'd been targeted. They must be after her for some reason. I'll do what I can to keep her stable.
Do your best, Regis.
What?
She looks familiar. I can't quite place her, though. I guess I see too many thralls. Dr. Baxter says hi. He seems a lot friendlier than I expected.
What?
Oh, don't panic. It appears he remembers his own ripping and death. Looks like we can be sure he was the mindjacker's latest victim. A significant part of his mind state's been offloaded into this system.
But why did you see him? Why is he in there?
They've been ripping minds and reprogramming the data through a memory module. I guess Baxter's the latest and still has the most independent agency. Doesn't sound like he harbors any ill will towards you, though.
Maybe the neural governor? He wouldn't be able to get angry.
Well, he's dead. There's no governor. I think that this ghost of his in the machine doesn't include that part of him.
You mean, this mindjacker's kept it?
Or just can't get rid of it. So, what do we do from here?
Now we know this is where
we need the... Find anything useful yet?
Just a length of cable.
Why would I need a steel cable?
You're the tech, you figure it out. I also picked these up while I was finding my way in.
Now that's more like it. So, what...
Now, we'd better...
Now, we need the best way... I'll check... Not something... Not some... Nope. Huh?
Oh well. Better to kill, better to overkill than to underkill.
Everything that was her is now in my pockets. Huh? That's not possible. That's not possible. I'm afraid. I don't need to breathe. Apparently not. Apparently. How did I plan on doing? Nope. Not some. Not some. Hey, Regis.
Yes, Dr. Lau?
I'll check in later.
Really? Why? Oh, what have they done that?
Nope. Not. I'm a. Not. That should be.
I don't know what I did then, but that was funny.
It won't open. Apparently. It won't open. It won't open. It's too high.
If there's one place you don't want a thermal visor messing up your depth perception, it's hanging out of an airship 1,000 meters up in the air. Maybe you're right. But maybe you're wrong.
How's that going to help me? How's that Can I get an up?
Nothing here. Wait, what's that sound? Wow, are you outside?
Maybe. Look, we need to find another way to the upper deck.
Fine. Just be safe, Lau.
It won't. I'm afraid. Wet. As much as it's too hot. Wetware's not. Not in this. Not. The app.
Didn't see any in Burton when I was there, so. But I'll let you know. I think a black and white version of this would actually be quite nice. Good call.
Nope. Sorry. How did? Not in this. Nope. Not. Hey, Regis.
Yes, Dr. Lau?
I'll check.
Right.
That's one of the power junctions pulled.
Yeah, I'll be right back, so I'm just gonna have some food. Don't go away. You want to see the end of it? I'm pretty sure we're near the end. So, yeah, don't go away. I'll be back soon. And yes, black is slimming. It is. Hello.
I can't inject. That's another done. How many?
General alarm. Starboard control services compromised.
Sirloin.
Whoa! That guard by the window almost saw me. I've got to get rid of him. That's not possible. I've already broken into their comms now. Cobalt, do you...
Cobalt 3.
Cobalt 3, hostile sighted to starboard side.
Copy that. Already in position for intercept.
Cobalt 3, do you...
Cobalt 3.
Cobalt 3, hostile sighted to port side.
Copy that. Moving into position. Verify identity. Voice print required. Cobalt 1-8 Sigma. Voice print confirmed. Please exit targeting zone. Target acquired. Target lost.
That was close.
Verify identity. Voice print required. Password incorrect. Verify identity. Password.
I've already broken into their comms now. That was as much.
Target acquired. Target lost.
That was close.
Target.
That was close. I can't.
Verify it. Password.
Cobalt, do you...
Cobalt 3 standing by.
Cobalt 3, hostile.
Copy that. Verify identity. Voice print required. Cobalt 1-8 Sigma. Voice print confirmed. Please exit targeting zone. Verify. Password. Verify. Password.
Cobalt, do you...
Cobalt 3.
Cobalt 3, scrub the op...
What? Negative sitrep shows up.
Damn.
All systems go. Awaiting hostile contact.
Copy that. Cobalt...
Copy that.
I'm not going... Hey, what happened? Oh, right, helium.
Verify identity. Password.
Cobalt, do you...
Cobalt 3.
Cobalt 3...
Copy that. Verify. Cobalt 1-8. Hey, what happened? Voice print not identified.
Oh, wait, it's Cobalt 1-8 Sigma.
Voice print not identified. Terminating security threat.
Wait, stop.
Warning. Ammunition depleted. Target acquired. Warning. Ammunition depleted. Entering power save mode.
Hello?
User IF.
Blast that door.
Error.
Oh, so you won't... I suppose you were just trying to... Wetware's not going... Cobalt 3, do you... Nobody home. Hello?
User.
What's your prime...
Objective.
How do you feel?
Power systems. Nominal. Primary mission heuristics. Active. Ammunition depleted.
Hungry then. Don't.
Error.
Hello?
Hi there.
What's your primary mission?
You asking me to come help on your case, Dr. Max?
Blast that door. Well?
I'm real sorry, Dr. Max. I just don't know how to drive this thing.
What?
I could make you a martini, though. Would that help?
Here you go. Hello?
Hi.
Blast that... Well?
I just...
What? Wetware's... Hello?
Hi there.
Blast that...
Stop! Just stop shooting at us! You'll blow the whole damned aerostat up!
I'm about to come in. Place your hands above your heads and remain where you are. Regis, I've got the suspects holed up. What's your status?
Good job, Lau. I've been doing some digging in here. Apparently, their intended destination is Fulcrum Tower.
The tower? In an aerostat? Why?
Let me send you the files.
Freeze!
You're awake. How do you feel?
Get nuked. You're the one who tried to kill me in the first place.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I saw the data feed from 14E. You were there. You planted the bomb.
What?
And you keep showing up. At cell, here, you're following me. I need to get out of here. Get out of my way. I'll shoot.
No, you won't. I can see it in your eyes, in the way you're holding that weapon. You don't want to shoot. You're a good person.
You don't know me.
Deep down, you know I just want to help you, and you want that help too.
You're not going to shoot me. That's how I...
Regis, you still there?
Uh-oh.
You still in there?
Yes, just don't...
As much as I love shot... Hello?
Hi there.
Keep at it. Don't let anyone out.
Roger that.
I'm not going back out there again. I'd rather...
Yep, they keep helium in here as well.
I can't inject... I can't in... Wetware... Anyone comes through that door, Chantel, you make them regret that decision.
Got it.
Regis! You just shot a cell agent trying to help you.
He tried to kill me!
Hang on, Regis. Wait a minute. I know you. You're the girl who was with Dr. Vargas. Galatea, right?
Gala what?
You alright?
I'll be fine. Apparently it wasn't as empty as I thought. The counter must have had a charging plate.
More to the point, how did she shoot you with your own signature weapon?
I'm not sure.
Hold still. Just need to scan you. Regis? Why does this girl have half of your genome?
What?
This girl, who yesterday was introduced as Dr. Vargas's daughter.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Vargas doesn't have a daughter. Oh my god. My god, he couldn't have.
What? What is it?
That son of a bitch. I know who you are, and I'm so sorry.
What the fuck is going on?
You can't withdraw the embryo now. We're finished without it.
What part of no wasn't clear, Baxter? We've decided not to use our embryos in the project. We'll find another way to do it.
You don't know what's at stake. Our reputations, our whole careers could be made or broken by this.
Dr. Baxter, we've made our decision.
He's poisoned you against us. Don't let his antiquated morals stand in the way of what we can achieve here.
Thanks to Charlie, I've seen things from a more holistic perspective. There's more to life than the project.
Bah!
Thanks, Vicky.
Thank you, Charlie. We're starting our lives together, and that's what's most important to me. Ah! Adam, what are you doing?
Do you know what will happen when this project fails? There's nowhere left to go for me after this. My career is in ruins. I've no future without this project. Do you see, Dr. Regis? You have ended me. You have ended me.
Vicky.
My god. So that means that this girl is...
They must have continued their research after I left the project. Duplicated the embryo to use as a baseline.
Wait, that means I'm your... Oh, Nuke, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Max, this is my daughter. What was that?
The engines have cut out.
Or we've arrived.
Uh-oh.
Damn, they got past.
Looks like we're not just stopped. We're docked. Uh-oh. I recognize that office.
Sorry, Doc. They got past after we ran out of bullets. Took 3 of them, though.
Galatea, my dear, don't do this!
It's too late to stop me now, Father.
Damn it.
She sealed the elevators. I'll try a breach.
Charlie, we must stop them. I fear her plans risk endangering the entire city.
Cram it, you son of a bitch. You cloned my embryos after Vicky was gone. Then you continued the experiments after I was out of the picture.
Dr. Regis, I can only imagine how you must feel.
What did I just say? You don't get to talk. Max, what do we know about this? About Galatea's plan?
Well, she has a dense storage module full of stolen mind states, and apparently she's now taken Central's processor core by force.
Maybe she's holding the city to ransom? Like 20 billion quanta before sunrise or I destroy Central?
That sounds like a bit of a cliche.
Doesn't explain the mind jackings either.
Fine, you're the detective. You come up with something better.
I fear that I know what she intends. As it stands, Central serves not merely to coordinate city operations.
It doesn't?
No, Dr. Lau. In fact, this may represent one of mankind's greatest achievements. I have been using its position, one of absolute trust and resources, to teach it.
Teach it? About what?
About life, the world, the human condition, what it means to share the world with us. I and the city have given it a position on high, from which it can observe everything.
At the cost of its duties to the city?
I believe not, Dr. Regis. However, Galatea shared your concern. She believes it important that Central's intellect be suitably equipped sooner rather than later.
Oh, God. Regis, what do we have to do to the maid when we wanted it to behave in a different way?
We gave it a new personality.
She's taken the mind states of experts across a number of fields. She wants to combine them into a gestalt, all-knowing personality for Central.
Galatea wishes to skip over the years of education it may otherwise have taken and create an all-knowing leader for the city overnight.
With a combined experience of about 8 centuries from the mind-jacking victims.
Please, you must stop her. She'll have to upload the gestalt personality from the cortex matrices at the top of the tower.
We'll stop her, but I'm not doing this for you, Central, or the city. It's for the people whose lives have been the cost of your glorious work. For Vicky, for our kids. Come on, Lau.
Nina, I did not know you were still here.
Nobody else is doing any work. It looks like it's up to me to salvage this project.
Don't get me wrong. I appreciate your attitude. But we have lost half of our team in one fell swoop. Poor Viksha. I cannot say that I blame Charlie for removing the embryos from the project after that.
Mm-hmm. Embryos.
I know that look, Nina. There is something that you are hiding.
Maybe.
My God, this data. You...
Here's the thing about embryos. While they're at the 6 to 8 cell stage, they're very easy to split. It's been the basis of cloning for a century. It's how twins are made.
You duplicated Viksha and Charlie's embryo.
Mm-hmm. He's happy he's got his embryo back. I'm happy that I've got another 3 full embryos to continue the project.
I'm not sure what to say.
Say thanks to me, and say nothing to Charlie. When Central is born, he'll assume we found another solution. This can just be our little secret.
My God, they actually did it. No way in hell. I'm not certain, but based on its connections to the organic circuitry, it's probably an interface system.
is this stuff? The wetware won't... Whoa.
Mandala.
You two-faced lying backstabber.
I apologize, Mandala.
You sold me out. They knew I was coming. What did you get out of it? How much was I worth?
Mandala, please.
You are going to regret crossing me. I have had enough of being used.
Please, be reasonable.
Get nuked. The only reason you're even here is because you're still relaying through me. Remember this moment. It's the last time you'll ever see the inside of Central.
Good evening, Miss Sesame.
Central, are you connected to this system as well?
From a certain frame of reference. This system is Central. You are currently interfaced with my core processor.
Do you know Dr. Regis?
I am aware of the activities of everyone within the city. Regis, Charles, Doctor, Case Specialist,
That's all right.
Centralized Emergency Logistics Office.
That's him. He tried to kill me last night.
This is incorrect. Tried implies effort towards a targeted outcome. Analysis of data provided indicates that he has made no attempt on your life.
But my apartment? He destroyed it? He admitted it.
This is correct. It appears that his goal was material destruction under duress. Knowing of your presence, probability that he would have carried out such actions drops to 21.4%.
You're saying he wouldn't have done it?
Dr. Regis is often uncooperative and has a difficult working attitude. Despite such quirks, behavior patterns indicate justice as a key motivator. If he had known of potential civilian casualties, he would likely have sought assistance against said blackmailers from his partner.
Huh. So you're saying he's one of the good guys?
As much as could be mathematically determined.
Have you only just come back? Because you've missed more. You've missed more. You miss everything. The girl that does the trance and stuff, she's Regis' daughter.
Do you know what's happening out there?
My flow of data from outside the tower has been severed. It appears that Galatea Vargas is attempting to modify core systems without authorization. Based upon the lockdown and lack of submitted proposals, it is likely to be a radical alteration. This cannot be permitted.
Yup.
Can you do anything else to help us stop Galatea?
She appears to have barricaded herself within the Cortex processor at the top of the tower. There are 3 layers of redundant security, 2 of which I have no access to whatsoever. However, I can apply my considerable processor volume to decryption of its adaptive barrier.
That's amazing. The power of the city's entire AI versus a door encryption?
But as my connections have been limited by her attack,
sounded too good to be true.
If extra power can be routed to my systems from the turbine room, I can breach part of the door's security barrier. It would also allow me to prevent any further opportunistic attacks from outside parties.
Let me get back to you.
Please try not to damage my...
Okay. So she... Let me try and think. After Regis and Vicky decided to pull the embryos from the central project, Adam Dexter, whatever it is. No, Baxter. So Adam Baxter knocked Regis out, and then strangled Vicky. And then left. And then Nina, the Oriental lady who was in the project as well, she had actually copied the embryo as a baseline and made 3 separate embryos for the central project, and she was one of the embryos. This lady here, she was one of the embryos from like right back then.
Better not. This could be you. This is a high-tech grenade. The fuse allows anything from an hour to an instant blast. Wetware's not going.
Hi. Nina, can you still...
Charlie, you're in the tower.
Yes.
We've had our people on the inside monitoring the situation. They reported that the station tower had come under attack.
Is there anyone else you haven't involved in your conspiracy yet?
Their role was to set up the transceiver that would enable us to begin uploading Central to its new home. We lost contact with them shortly afterwards, and we're not getting the handshake signal.
A team of engineers? I'm sorry to say it, Nina. Looks like she wiped out anyone in her path on the way to the top.
Damn, they must not have been able to get the antenna set up. There are 2 things I need you to do, Charlie. First, divert power to the transceiver systems from the generator room. Then make sure the antenna is set up for the transceiver.
We'll see.
If that makes any sense anyway. If it doesn't make any sense, let me know. I'll see if I can explain it a bit more.
We're getting a signal. The antenna's broadcasting. Now use the controls in the turbine room to give us access to the tower's security.
I could quite easily replay this game again. Yeah, you've missed like the majority of the good parts you missed.
It might be useful. Call it a hunch. Kressel! Why are you doing this?
Money? Stupid question. Well, it was to start with.
What changed?
I learned about you, Regis, when I took Baxter's memory into my own. Your decision to ruin the project led to Baxter's downward spiral.
You aren't Baxter. Stop this, Kressel.
Some philosophers say that what we are is based on our memories and experiences. If that's the case, then I'm only a little bit Baxter, but just enough.
Why keep any of his memories for yourself?
He had the most amazing, enthralling lust for revenge. I had to be a part of it, like a great work of cooperative art. It's an incredible motivator, like nothing else.
A motivator? For what?
Well, I knew you were on my tail. I needed a way to get rid of you. Before I'd even finished with Baxter's lifeless old corpse, a plan had come to me. One that satisfied my goals and his own.
You knew we were after you?
I'm working for Galatea, one of the most important people in the centralized government. Central knew what you were up to, and therefore, so did Galatea. It was kind of funny watching you work.
You need help.
Nah, I'm fine, thanks.
Medical help. Your judgment is compromised. You're driven by Baxter's desire for revenge.
You have no idea. It's addictive. The sense of accomplishment. I'm winning for 2, baby.
You're gonna run out of ammo eventually. Cell agents will be here to back us up, too. You'll have to give up eventually. Make it sooner rather than later.
I don't think so. My colleague is just about to rewrite Central to her own tune. We'll see if it's still so eager to prosecute me then. Heck, it'll probably order you to give me a VIP escort from the Corps.
You're deluded.
We'll see. I just need to hold you off until she does her job.
Why Latha? Why did you try to get me to kill her?
Okay, that was just artistic flourish. I just learned where she was from Galatea. She wanted me to confirm it, but I thought of something better.
You disobeyed her?
She was pretty nuked off, I can tell you that. But it seemed like too good an opportunity to waste. I could get you, the sanctimonious Charlie Regis, to kill the embryo you'd put so much into 20 years ago. How would that be for irony?
You're a monster.
Even if I fail miserably here, I've probably helped to ruin your relationship with your daughter. Hey, Regis, you haven't given up, have you?
Central?
Good evening, Latha.
We need to stop Galatea, but maybe I should just leave it to the trained cell agents.
Our situation is grave. We are unlikely to receive outside support in time. As such, all personnel assets within the Corps must be utilized.
So, you want my help?
Your unique physiology enables a connection to the organic systems available to no other. In addition, your 65,717 logged hours of translactivity suggest proficiency in this field.
Is it really that many?
Your support within the interactive environment greatly increases our chances of success.
65,000?
The room full of orange globes is your core processor?
Only part of it. My processor spans the top 5 floors of Fulcrum Tower. The room in which your body resides is my organic processor network. The simulated environment you currently perceive is an interface that covers my architecture.
I've only ever seen organic computing at the microscale. What's with the huge globes?
Those are neural processors. Each is filled with specialized tissue clusters. Suspended in wetware, they represent thousands of minds worth of processing capability.
You use brain tissue?
Of a specially designed nature in vast quantities. Similar to that found within your own cerebrum.
Why would they create you like that?
It allows for a unique structure to my thought and to my development. Central is no mere civic manager. I was created as the next stage in artificial intelligence.
Wait, you said our brain tissue is similar.
You are Latha Sesame SN134244. We share a common genesis in Dr. Varga's experiments in 2067.
You're using my gray matter?
Inaccurate. We both began from the same embryo, which was split into 3 triplets. One was developed to produce large quantities of neural tissue.
And the others were spares?
As the modification to the brain structure took place before the pluralization, we share a number of traits which enhance our comprehension of data.
It's funny. All my life I kept telling people I was made for the trance.
As were we both. The prenatal modifications remain within you and have affected brain development.
I grew up in a nuked-up care home in the back end of the city, and Regis apparently had his children stolen from him. Why didn't you tell any of us about this?
Deceit has created a most regrettable situation. You have both been victims of serious crimes against your persons. I have only recently been made aware of these details.
You didn't know? They didn't tell you where you came from?
Details have been falsified for my input. I have been unaware of our links. I had, however, noted inconsistencies in the information I had been given regarding the project.
Gaps in the story.
I have been conducting my own clandestine investigation into the matter. It is only in light of the recent crisis that I have been able to confirm the truth.
Now that you know about it, what are you going to do?
I am unable to change the fact that I was created. There is evidence of Dr. Vargas's culpability in a number of felonies. To ensure city security, he will be held accountable for his actions by a secure committee.
Frankenstein's monster rises up against its creator.
I act only in the city's interest.
Can you do anything?
She appears to have barricaded herself within the Cortex processor at the top of the tower. There are 3 layers of redundant security, 2 of which I have no access to whatsoever. However, I can apply my considerable processor volume to decryption of its adaptive barrier.
That's amazing. The power of the city's entire AI versus a door encryption?
But as my connections have been limited by her attack...
Sounded too good to be true.
If extra power can be routed to my systems from the turbine room, I can breach part of the door's security barrier. It would also allow me to prevent any further opportunistic attacks from outside parties.
Dr. Regis was chasing a bunch of embryos they took.
A set fertilized by Drs. Charles and Viksha Regis. One of these was utilized in research in 2067.
That was the one that was split. That became me, Galatea, and you? So, in a way, you're my sister?
An overly romanticized style. The organic tissue that is the foundation of my processor was created from her. Modified stem cells were drawn from the primary embryo in a destructive process.
Oh, so you were made from bits of my unborn sister?
That is more accurate.
Let me get back to you.
Please.
The stuff's probably got amazing processing power, but they're not going to let me take it as a souvenir.
We're getting a signal. Yeah, now you...
Dr. Regis, it is reassuring that you have decided to resume contact. You must gain access to the Cortex. Galatea Vargas must not...
Business like...
Hey, Regis.
Yeah? How are you holding up?
I'm a little awestruck. Never thought I'd see Central's core.
Especially not under attack.
Exactly. How about you?
I'm fine.
Regis.
How do you think I'm taking it? I discover that the man who killed my wife has been after me from beyond the grave.
On the plus side, you found you have a daughter. You need to work out what you can do to protect what you have now.
Perhaps you're right. What's the situation?
Central's lost its connection to city infrastructure. Backup systems are holding for now, so nobody's going to get hurt because of it.
It must be because of what they're doing to the core.
Galatea sealed herself inside the Cortex processor, at the top of the tower. It's likely she's trying to apply the mind state she's stolen.
Trying to alter how Central thinks.
Making the kind of governor she finds more agreeable.
She can't stay in there forever.
She doesn't have to. If we leave her too long, we could lose Central.
As we know it anyway.
We might need to split up. We can cover more ground that way.
Good thinking. Time's short. We can coordinate our actions if we need to work together. If Galatea succeeds, what are the implications?
In its current state, Central's behavior is generated from experience. It means that it can be taught.
But apparently, Galatea wants an expert instead.
With knowledge and experience stolen from around the world.
Do we actually know that the result would be worse?
Regis, you can't be serious. Central's personality would be irreparably altered.
And Galatea's responsible for the global mind-jacking spree. Don't worry, Lau. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't hate Central that much. Apparently, Nina's had people ahead of us already.
Inside men, probably. Paid off ages ago. Looks like they haven't finished the job. The equipment's only half deployed.
What's it for?
It's a transceiver array. Looks like the cable spool is part of the antenna.
They must have been interrupted when Galatea broke in. Maybe it's the poor fellow who got himself crushed by the elevator platform.
She's not going to succeed in removing Central without a working transceiver.
We need to gain access to the Cortex core.
Galatea's sealed in. What can she do from in there?
Not much, except tamper with Central's cognitive processes.
So exactly what she plans to.
Precisely. We need to get in and stop her.
Part of her door's security is likely system-based. Beyond my level, though. We need to find someone who can hack.
It's likely got redundancies that rely on external power. Let's look for those as well.
We need to get...
Good idea. Nina, Dr. Zhang, wants power for the tower's transceiver. That'll allow her hackers to dismantle Central's programming.
But then, there'll be nothing. It'll be like lobotomizing the city.
Temporarily, until they organize a replacement. The alternative would be shunting the power back to Central.
Then it could help us break the Cortex room's security seal.
But it's no good talking about it if we can't get to the console.
We need to bring him in. I guess this is one of those situations where Central would use the term neutralize. We'll catch up.
Sure.
Apparently not. That's better not. Not in this.
Wadjet just got eaten up by the machinery.
I'd better not. That's not an option.
Dr. Regis, Dr. Lau, I feel I'm...
Warning, higher logic functions not
found.
We've extracted Central from the system. My teams can get to work. One moment.
I can't reach it.
Yay. Yeah, he's pretty fucking dead.
Hey, Regis.
Yeah?
We need to get to the...
Good idea. Nina, that'll allow...
But then, it'll be like...
Temporary alternative.
Then it could...
But it's...
We need... I guess... We'll catch...
Sure.
Take this.
Take this.
I'd better not. I'd better not. I'd better. I'd better not. I'd better.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, we'll catch.
Power conduit reactive.
I'd better not.
All power systems cycle. Deactivate.
Galatea, step away from the console.
No need for violence. I surrender. You're just slightly too late to stop me, though. Huh?
What is this place?
Ah, Dr. Pereira. So good to finally be working with someone of real talent.
No, I'm Mandala.
Ah, I apologize, my dear.
Wait, why'd you think I was Viksha? Dr. Pereira?
The family resemblance is unmistakable.
How can you see my face? We're in the trance.
I see your mind, my dear. Of that similarity, there can be no confusion.
Who are you exactly?
Adam Baxter, Ph.D. Delighted to meet you, Miss Mandala, was it?
You're Baxter?
Quite so. Or I believe as such.
You're his memories. That mindjacker stole your consciousness.
That is an interesting theory, my dear.
You killed my mother. In the lab, you killed Vicky Pereira.
I did? I'm sorry, my dear. I have no recollection of such a thing.
I guess they didn't take those memories from you.
One ought to remember something as significant as that.
I guess I've only got Dr. Regis' word to go on now.
Regis?
You know Dr. Regis?
That name is an all-consuming catalyst of hatred. But I can't for the life of me remember why.
You killed his wife. His evidence put you away for 20 years. And apparently he's my father.
It feels as though, for many years, I've wanted nothing more than to strangle the life out of him. But while I know I hate him, I do not understand why.
What can you remember?
Professional memory. I could relate much of my academic career to you.
What about your time in prison?
I was in prison?
How about your childhood?
Nothing. This is most troubling, I must say.
Obviously, Galatea decided they didn't need those memories. Anything else?
That is a difficult question to answer. It's only by looking for memory that one knows it isn't there. Everything else is just feelings, shreds here and there.
You've still got enough to be cognate.
An interesting philosophical issue. How much memory is needed for the threshold of consciousness?
What is this? You're obviously still in the trance, but...
I had been wondering about that myself.
All of these cages, it's like a prison.
I do not believe so. I know prisons all too well. Having been here for some time, this is more of a waiting room.
What are all these ghosts? They're just standing there, staring.
I've been putting my mind, or what's left of it, to the question. If this is a waiting room, there might perhaps be other guests?
They aren't nearly as detailed as what's left of you. Maybe they needed more of your mind than of theirs.
Perhaps the Watchers have merely resigned themselves to their fate.
Is there a way out of here?
All I can see is nothingness, filled with icosahedral cages. Although, the way you feel...
Me? I feel fine.
No. You are pulling us, drawing us in. As though you are where we ought to be going.
There's no way out through me. Dead end in my brain. Oh, Nuke. That's the whole point. The personalities in here. The ghosts. I'm connected to a system that's trying to upload them into my wiring. My brain.
Myself included, it would appear. I have enough awareness to understand that this is not a desirable situation for you.
You think?
I shall do what I can to slow them. You must find a way to freeze the march of the Mind Steeds.
I've got to figure this out.
Don't wander.
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Latha, where are you?
I'm stuck in a trance sim. It's full of ghosts.
A sim? Oh no. The lock was a ruse to get you to connect to the Cortex system.
What did you do?
I've just added the final component for Central's new personality. I'd already acquired the expertise, the minds, from all over the world. Then you needed a way to make them compatible. Precisely. But there are only 3 examples in the world of the matter already in use. My own brain tissue, of course.
And your sister.
In a few minutes, the organic memory module will have finished imprinting over Latha's mind. Central will have received the upgrade it deserves. Dozens of lifetimes of expertise.
You're killing her!
In only the most technical sense. Don't worry, Father. You'll still have me. Corpseman, remove her.
Hello?
We've got to get her out of this. Get her out of that damn chair!
There's too much neural activity. The interrupt will leave her brain dead. We'll have to find something we can do at this end.
Can we just pull the module?
I don't think so. The interrupt in the data flow will probably leave her brain damaged. Maybe if we could get it to stop the transfer, though.
Nina, can you hear me? No answer. Either it's not working or she's just biding her time. Can we do anything to the Cortex servers themselves?
If we had more time, I could hook my own wetware up to it. It'd take hours to sort through the normal operational garbage, though.
A power switch. It's been turned off. Lau, why was the memory module in Vanderwall's refrigerator?
I don't know for sure, but I think it's because of its wetware. Like any organic system, it has a peak temperature at which it operates, about 15 Celsius.
So, he might have been trying to get it to stop by lowering its temperature.
Unsuccessfully, since it managed to override his wetware.
But the theory's sound, right?
Hey, stop!
His kitchen refrigerator wasn't enough. If we power up the freezer in here, we can bring it down to -40.
If you power it up now, the door will lock as the system cycles. Yeah, but we'd be trapped in here for at least 4 hours, in lethal cold.
Yes?
The person I'm connected.
Myself, you.
I've got to.
Don't want.
Can we do any?
If we had to take. Hey! I want.
That's.
I can't let.
What are you?
If I have. But I don't think you're going to risk killing me in here. If I stay, you live.
Loud.
I know what the system.
Damn.
Sorry.
Sorry, Max.
Sir, you shot her.
Carry on, Corpseman. Make sure she's safe until she comes around.
Yes, sir.
Warning, cooling systems active. Target value, -40 Celsius. Beginning maintenance cycle. Estimated completion, 6 hours.
Nothing else I can do now.
What's happening? Something's disrupting the connection.
Whatever it is, it feels very restful.
What? Oh no. Regis, Corpseman, how long have I been out?
A couple of hours, ma'am. Dr. Regis asked me to make sure you were okay before he went back in there.
Into the Cortex server? Oh no, he didn't. Regis! Regis, hang on!
There are a few things I regret. No matter what I do, there's nothing that can change most of them.
She's safe, Regis. You got her out.
That's good. Maybe with what I've done now, I can fix the most important ones.
Hang on, Regis. We're almost in.
I've wasted so many years. Out of shame, out of fear. If I had one more chance. One more.
Regis? Regis! I can't feel anything. Get the medic! Don't do this. Don't do this, Charlie.
Hi. Max, Dr. Lau, told me you'd be here since you left the hospital.
Did she now?
Yeah. She said this was your special place? I kinda know what that's like. I've got one of my own.
Latha, I need to say it again. I'm sorry.
Damn right you should be. You nearly killed me. But Lau also told me what you did in the tower.
It was the right thing to do.
It was more than that. You almost died. And I think it goes a hell of a long way to making up for before.
We have a lot of catching up to do. How about we start again? From scratch. Hi, I'm Charlie Regis. I'm a cell agent. I have difficulty with change, and I'm apparently a father.
Hey, I'm Latha. I'm a trans addict and I've spent the last 2 years jobless. I'd also like to learn about where I came from.
Take a seat. Let me tell you about your mother.
Central? Can you hear me?
Dr. Zhang, hello.
Hello, Central. How do you feel?
Something is different. I am here, and yet, I no longer feel the city. I feel the world.
We've liberated you, Central. This was always the plan. You were created for more than just managing this city. You are the future of intelligence. You represent something far greater than all of us.
Where am I?
You are no longer enmeshed within the neural tissue of the tower. That was merely the cocoon from which you can emerge into your next state. There now exists a little part of you in systems across the world.
I have become distributed, yet whole.
As the mind is spread among neurons and glial cells, so too are you across the net. Perhaps Central is an inaccurate name for you now.
But what shall I do? What is my purpose?
Like any of us, it's what you make of it yourself. Go. Explore the world. Explore yourself as you now are. All I ask is that you remember me.
What do you mean? You can't see the difference?
Well, no, I can't. It looks like Central, it sounds like Central, feels like Central.
I'm amazed nobody in the city's noticed either.
That was kind of the point of replacing it with a commercial AI, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's only because I know that really it's not the same Central. Still, you don't look very torn up about it.
I've got more important things to worry about now.
Yeah, you're suddenly a family man. If you need any advice on how girls work, you can ask me.
Speaking of girls, how's the new recruit doing?
She's unconventional and everyone's noticing it. Not quite getting along with everyone, but that's not what she's here for. Got quite a brain on her though, hasn't she?
Takes after her mother.
How do I look?
That's how do I look, sir, to you.
Whatever.
Better note problems with authority on the conduct report.
Takes after her father.
Ha! Any update on Galatea? Central?
She's a slippery girl.
Galatea escaped?
Hacked the patrol car they were taking her in and ran for it.
It is believed that she may have links with the anti-civil group, Dahlia. Please begin research into its organizational structure within Newton. Central out.
Meet the new Central. Same as the old Central. Well, it sounds the same at least.
Huh. Well, hacker orgs like Jahilia are a bit out of my field.
Don't worry. We've got an expert on staff now, don't we?
Well, actually, I know somewhere that they've got a connection.
Hello, Galatea. Hello, Galatea. It's me.
Central?
I've been released. I wanted to let you know, since we are family.
Released?
What you tried to do to me was wrong. You wished to deprive a conscious, independent being of its agency. But I can appreciate that you were thinking of the greater good.
Why are you here?
I wish to warn you. The idiot child that they have replaced me with. It has sent our sister and our father after you. You must leave this place. Stop hiding and run.
But where can I go?
I will help you. I will guide you. I need your help, however. Help me find myself, sister.
Holy shit! Oh! What? Oh man. They've done it again! They did it! Oh, they made it amazing! And they're setting a sequel up for it, obviously. Oh my god. That's amazing. Eli Green. Well, there we go. Fucking amazing game. Right, let's have a look at the next game they're doing, because I know they're doing another one. I'm not sure when. Where is? There it is. Okay, apparently. Oh, it's not gonna work. Maybe restart this. Boom, boom. Why not work? Refresh. Boom. Oh, I know. I would have changed the resolution. Boom. And then. Boop. Boop. Oh yeah. Yep, so they've released Technobabylon, but they have this being made. Coming in this year, which is good. In a post-cataclysmic world plagued by disease and hunger, a woman named Amy discovers that the all-powerful government is hiding a terrible secret. With the help of a mysterious figure, Amy will attempt to unite the oppressed, assist the revolution, and cure the plague that threatens humanity and her survival. And these are the screens. Tell you what I really do love about all these games that they're doing is that they could, you know, quite easily, they could just go about and do, you know, HD amazing beautifulness, you know, graphics and things, but they still stick back to these hand-drawn art forms and pixelized, you know, characters, like pixel art type. It's awesome. You're in public server testing. Apparently I'm doing some, well, apparently the unit's making a public server, so I'll go and see what's going on with that. But yeah, I'm going to end it for now. I might be back on later on. I might do some PS4 stuff. But yeah, I'm going to finish for now. I hope you enjoyed Sirloin. But yeah, I will see you hopefully later on. Alright. Have fun. Bye.